Now that the pomp and ceremony of the president's inauguration is done, it's time to get down to the business of running the country. South Africa is eagerly awaiting to hear who will make up Cyril Ramaphosa's new slimline cabinet. Well, the ANC's Integrity Commission has been meeting with several ANC leaders, and speculation is rife that the meetings are central to finalizing the new cabinet. For more on this, I'm joined by ANC spokesperson Bule Mabe. Good evening, sir, and thank you very much for your time. Now, ANC officials knew a long time ago that after Saturday's inauguration, the president would have to announce his cabinet. So why did the Integrity Commission have to only start doing its work now?
Well, thanks, Vuyo, and evening to your viewers. The work of the Integrity Commission and what is supposed to be happening as it relates to the appointment of a cabinet, these are two separate processes. You will know
but
that
one impacts the other.
No, but one of the things that we spoke about has been about the reconfiguration of a cabinet, a point you made earlier when you opened this conversation. The president of the ANC, who's also the president of the Republic, has been on consultation, has met again with officials today to discuss numerous other issues, including how a reconfigured cabinet would effectively look like. These consultations are going on. So if what has held back the announcement, I don't think it's even holding it back because it is still well within schedule. The presidency has already even issued a statement and said we're expecting the announcement to happen later within this week. There are issues of skills, there are issues of capacity.
No, that was because it was supposed to happen yesterday. So when it didn't happen, the presidency was forced to give some kind of an explanation. And to try and get out of the quagmire that they were in, they had to then say, we're still within, but everyone knew that this thing was...
Well, surprisingly, from our own programming in the ANC, when we had communicated the critical dates of when things are supposed to be happening, we did indicate that yesterday, which was Sunday, and today would be an engagement of officials. This also include numerous other engagements that the president will be considering, including talking to alliance partners, the COSATU, the party, but also dealing with the profiling, looking at the various skills of the men and women who must be deployed there. So I think that we shouldn't really be second-guessing what is really holding up, because there's actually no delay. It's just a procedural point. I mean, if you are going to be reducing your cabinet from the initial number that was there to a slimmer cabinet, there's quite a lot of things that goes into that.
So, from the meeting the president and the rest of the officials had today,
yes,
was there any clarity given about the number of cabinet positions that there may be this time around?
Well, given the feedback that we got in our last NEC, and remember when we communicated the outcomes of the special NEC in Cape Town, we did also give out the rationale behind a reconfigured cabinet, that it will be able to increase efficiencies, make sure that there's better governance, but also contribute towards growth. We went into this election under the theme Grow South Africa. So I take it that in this continued engagements, because President is quite frank, open with the officials, one can only make an assumption that, of course, there should be some clarity there. And we'll all be able to see that kind of clarity when the president ultimately makes the announcement.
But do they settle on a number, at least?
Well, they are our leadership. So whatever they are arriving at would be able to be in the best interest of the country.
So we haven't settled on a number?
Well, I wouldn't even want to say we have settled or not settled, because, you know, I'm the national spokesperson of the ANC. The NEC has already agreed and given its thumbs up to the whole notion of a reconfigured cabinet, which means that we have all agreed that the new cabinet that the president is going to be assembling is going to be one that is smaller, linear, but brings with it capacity, men and women who will be able to carry forward the interest of our country.
Did they agree on any names?
Well, Vuyo, I wouldn't even want us to go there. We will be preemptive if we do that. Let us allow the president to exercise his own prerogative when that time comes.
But what will be the criteria?
Well, we don't even have to be zooming into that. We all know, because the presidency has already made this point clear, and we too in the ANC, what we expect from this cabinet that is going to be assembled is one that has got capacity, has got a fair representation of women. They are young people in there, people who will be able to do the things that we promised our people during the electioneering period. So, of course, there was also a question of regional spread. You have got 9 provinces in the Republic of South Africa. You'll have to make sure that in whatever you do, there is a fair representation of all of those provinces. Of course, Vuyo, the question of capacity and the kind of skill that you deposit in cabinet to be able to do the work and discharge the mandate of the ANC, that will be a prerogative that the president of the ANC and the president of the Republic ultimately exercises.
Well, you continue to say he has prerogative, but at the same time, you are also saying
yes,
that he has had to meet with officials,
correct,
he has to meet with alliance partners.
Correct.
So, there are limits to him exercising his prerogative.
Well, even when the president of the ANC exercises his own prerogative, he takes the organization he leads on board. It is nothing unusual. All presidents of the ANC in the past have done exactly what President Ramaphosa is doing. And we are quite comforted by the kind of frank and robust engagements that are happening. These engagements are not in any way taking away the authority of the president to make a decision on what needs to happen.
Now, you have the Integrity Commission currently meeting all these leaders who, in one way or the other, have had questions raised about them. Now, the work of the Integrity Commission's purpose is to combat unethical conduct. It is also to promote integrity, honesty, as well as make sure that members of the ANC comply with the rules, the Constitution, and the Code of Conduct of the African National Congress. Now, what exactly is the Integrity Committee doing right now with the members that are appearing before it? And how is that then going to impact who President Ramaphosa chooses?
Well, I don't even think that, and I said this point earlier, that there is a dealing here. You know, the Integrity Commission has been set up, empowered to do the work that they are conducting. When our special NEC concluded its work prior to the electioneering period. Remember, that special NEC that then said, let us refer all the lists of candidates to the National Assembly, to the Integrity Commission.
But you came up with these names, 23 names.
So now, once there is a pool of names, what the Integrity Commission had then done was to then exercise its authority to give our comrades a fair chance to be able to ventilate upon on the issues that would have been raised, so that in the final analysis, when a conclusion is made, everyone has had their own opportunity to express themselves on the issues.
But what can the Integrity Commission do which state law enforcement agencies have not been able to do? I mean, in the 2 days that it has had to look at all the names that you...
Budvuy, I think we must first agree on one thing. There is no ANC cadre who's appearing before the Integrity Commission for an act of criminality.
Why are they appearing before?
Well, you have just read out a framework that guides the work of the Integrity Commission.
So there's a reason for that.
And you see, if there is a feeling or a perception that Voyo needs to come before the Integrity Commission and perhaps provide clarity on certain things that might have a bearing on the integrity or standing of the African National Congress. As a disciplined cadre of the ANC, Voyo goes through that process and then files the kind of clarity that is required. It could be that once Voyo has made that kind of clarity, then the Integrity Commission then is able to say, no, but these things look are overexpressed out there in the media. I mean, how stories tend to come out in our own media outlets. And our own comrades in the African National Congress have got a duty at all material times to make sure that they give their own version and provide the necessary clarity. I wouldn't want us at this stage to zoom into the work that the Integrity Commission is seized with. We all have got confidence that when the Integrity Commission ultimately concludes...
holding what is supposed to be a public process to ransom.
No, but Budvuyo, I've already clarified that there was a meeting of officials today.
But you can't tell me what they discussed.
No, I did explain.
And you want to de-link the Integrity Commission from, the discussions around cabinet. How is that?
Well, I did clarify that the meeting had largely to do with issues around reconfiguration. Is the consultation that is ongoing. I also went on to state that when we issued a statement previously, we did try to speak to the kind of program that will be ongoing as part of asserting and settling on these issues of reconfiguration and ultimately announcement of cabinet.
And the Integrity Commission is part of that?
Well, the Integrity Commission is doing its work, and I wouldn't want to preempt what will be the finality of the work of the Integrity Commission.
Which is expected when? Tomorrow?
Well,
expected to submit their report tomorrow?
Well, I can tell you now that as soon as they are done, and if there are issues that require communication, such will be done.
Okay, so we're going to leave it for now. ANC National Spokesperson Pule Mabe.